Turtles really snuck into Pauper. Hi guys, welcome back to Casting Commons, the show where we talk and discuss all things Pauper. I am your host Teasdale, and this is my co-host, Leonardo, Big Brother himself, Reese.
What a horrendous card name.
Before we start, do not forget to support by rating us 5 stars on Spotify, following us on Twitter at Casting Commons 1 for the most recent Pauper deck lists, and of course, subscribe to us on YouTube. How are you doing? You alright?
Yeah, good. Excited to see how the Pauper metagame is going to develop, as basically turtles are everywhere now.
Yeah,
it's 2 weeks before getting as well.
It's blew up, to be fair. It's pretty good. I'm pretty excited. I was taken aback by not only obviously the online meta, but the paper meta as well is done pretty well. With the potential of obviously going even further, but we'll dive right into that in the news section of why it hasn't, probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty good. I'm pretty excited. You did throw me off by the horrendous card name. I was raring, I was in there, and you were like, whoa, wait. But all is well. So just to start, there will be no Pauper Thought of the Week this week, and that is mainly just because we have 2 more events to cover, 2 paper events to cover, which I'm pretty excited to obviously go through, which is pretty sweet. So we're just going to dive straight into some housekeeping, and then we'll obviously get right into challenges and the 2 events. So, tournament news. Scrap King Cup, 4th of April, £20 entry. That is at Accrington. Winner gets a revised Savannah, along with some Pauper staples, part of the prize pool. Really cool to see. I believe a couple of us, local lot, are going down, I think.
Yeah.
So,
seems to be quite a bit of interest, so hopefully there'll be quite a few of us going.
Yeah, definitely. Be pretty cool. And then also the Upstate New York Pauper Open, the 3rd one, has finally been announced. Tickets are finally on sale 11th of April. There is a big cash out prize based on attendance. It's of course near Rochester, New York, or is in Rochester, New York. I think it changed after the second one. I'm not savvy on my American whereabouts, but it's around that area. It is in a brewery, which seems to be a really good running theme as of late. All good Pauper events running breweries or having a mass of beer for sale, which is always a good place to be. Which going into our next one, Pauper Spezl 3, which I've been told Spezl means buddies, like friends, I'm guessing, in German. So, and they almost laugh at how I say the name, because the invite to shout out was Teasdale's hardest word to say, and then it was Spezl, so I must be saying it wrong. But hey-o, all part of the fun. The 3rd one has been announced. Tickets are on sale. Link will be in the description. That is on the 25th of April in Munich, Germany, and is also in a brewery, I believe, by the description. So it is a good running theme, no matter where we are across the world. If we're over that side of the pond or that side of the pond, all of the events are in breweries. Always great to see. On the same date, the 25th of April, is the London Pauper Showdown 4. Whew, they're a lot further ahead than the other 2, by 1. That is the Darkest Ritual. This is like a LPI stuff, goes towards Geddon, buys and things like that. The link for that is in the description. I believe it's for the Summer Geddon, so if you are interested in that sort of stuff, you can trek all the way down to London for it. And that is it for our tournament news. If you are interested in other events and all sorts of, there are other stuff that does get covered in the Discord. So I, as always, recommend joining our Discord for the greatest conversations of all time in terms of Pauper, and you get to see some events, which is cool. It was weird. I wasn't prepared to be doing that so early, because we normally have a bit at the start where I just sit back and we have a conversation. I was like, whew, admin. Anyways, news as well. So Turtles is out. We've obviously discussed this. We obviously discussed last week about the first cards to top 8 challenge, and we kind of sort of avoided Leo ourselves because we were like, oh, well, this is easy. They'll have to build around Leo a bit more and all that sort of stuff. So obviously you went with the Black Ninja thing, and I went through the Monitor, the Grixis Affinity guy. And then obviously we end up having a conversation about supply, right? So Ultra Monitor is in treasure chests. It is in a specific slot. I think it's it does say you can check out on the Magic Online website the treasure chest news article bit, which they update every so often. I think it says on it it's next updated in April or whatever. But I think it's on currently on option 3, which puts it down to 8 or 8%. It's in that 8% slot. So then obviously in that slot, you've got 8% to get that slot. And then in that slot, you've got however many cards there is, one in however many. I don't know the actual numbers that, but obviously it has a low drop rate in that respect. It's 8%, and then in that, however many cards are in that divided equally. Which has then caused an issue literally since the get-go. Like, it took, I would say, 72 hours for me personally to even to be able to buy one on GoatBots. I haven't seen anyone be able to, anyone open one. I haven't seen it. Oh, look, I've hit the jackpot. I've opened one, whatever. Say I sell this or whatever. And that is just online. Like, I've checked this morning. They have gone down in price. They do seem to steadily have them available.
There's still like 30 odd ticks though, right?
Yeah.
So 120 ticks for a playset of commons. So
there were 35 or something, but they've gone out about 28 or 30 or something like that. Or maybe they're buying them for less or something along them lines.
They're currently buying them for $28.50 and selling them for $33.50.
Yeah, so they've gone down, 2 ticks or something?
130 ticks for a playset.
Yeah, which is pretty nuts. Obviously, this is like Baldur's Gate level, right? But in the sense of it's a strange one because obviously Baldur's Gate, pretty much all of the cards were in treasure chests. So opening chests and stuff, you got generally more availability because there was just more Baldur's Gate stuff being opened, if you know what I mean. Where obviously this is basically there's one card that's in terms of Pauper that anyone's really interested in. I think there's only one card anyways. I don't even know what the rest of the cards are that are in that slot. But yeah, so that's the big point at the moment is people are struggling with getting them or even looking to pay for them.
Oh yeah, obviously that's one thing on Magic Online. In paper, they're significantly cheaper than Magic Online, but they're not the easiest thing to buy. Like for example, all the UK like big singles shops just don't have any in stock. So you basically have to go to smaller like individuals selling on card market. And I had a look before, and like for the UK, the cheapest one on card market is nearly €10. So yeah, it's again a 40-50 euro playset. It's like basically the price of the deck again for 4 commons. Which is a bit silly really for something new as well. Like it should be accessible. Like I know they put in the rule that they wouldn't print new commons in Commander decks because of this reason. So I don't know why this alternate product that's essentially like a Commander style product, it's a multiplayer product, has evaded that rule and then just completely dumped on Pauper, essentially.
I think my thing is as well, right? Like I have no issue with things getting downshifted or things getting added to Commander sets or alternate products. The problem is after that, everything after that is the afterthought, right? It's like, right, how do we get this on Magic Online? I just bang it in chests. How do we get this to paper products? Oh, well, it's already in that product, so that doesn't matter. Well, no, because nobody wants to buy, which then also doesn't go into the detail of the fact that this turtle team-up thing that costs like £40 or whatever it is, or £40+, you only get 3 of them.
Yeah.
So you then have to if you want to place it, you have to buy either another team-up battle set or a single. So you're like, either way
is another tenner.
Yeah. It's like, that's the thing. Like, I don't care. Like, I really think it's cool. Like, I've played with the Ultra Monitor. Now, I've done 2 leagues on the channel with it. The card seems incredibly strong. Really cool for, like, affinity style decks. Really cool for that sort of stuff. Really enjoyed playing it. But it's like, most of the comments on the channel are, whose kidney did you sell to get those? And all that sort of stuff. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's all about the supply, which it shouldn't be.
It should have just been in the main set. Like, if they're going to add commons, just put it in the main set. You already know it's a bad idea. Like, the rest of that product as well is all, like, loads of reprints. Like, or not reprints, but loads of commons from the set. Like, it's not like it's all new commons. There's, like, 4 or 5 new commons. So, like, at that point, what's the point?
It's definitely, again, it's just an afterthought, isn't it? Which, again, like, if they're gonna add it, at least add it to, like, the random cards you get in the back of a pack. Like, even something like that. So people who draft the set on Magic Online, people who draft the set in paper, have a chance to get this one card. Like, the amount of packs that will be opened will be obscene amount. This card
compared to a team-up product.
Yeah, compared to a team-up product or even a chest. Both are just so minuscule in comparison. Which, it's one of the things, hopefully they'll take the learning from it. I imagine they'll do something to do with Magic Online, and I don't know if they'll probably just, with papers and awkward, right? They're just not going to fix it.
Yeah, well, Magic Online's like fixable. I think Daybreak have already said the increase in the drop rate of it in chests to like ridiculous, like more than they've ever increased something to before. Which is obviously a good step forward. But they're taking like a week or 2 weeks or something to do that. So in the short term, there's still going to be this massive $35 per card to play an affinity. But yeah, in paper, like, there just is no fix. The fix is the supply is what it is. You have to either pay through the nose for a common or wait until they eventually put it in some obscene product under a new name or something. I don't know. I'd like, it's a Turtles card as well, so like, how are they ever going to reprint that?
Especially like the alien type as well. It's like Utron's like set to Turtles as well. It's not like they can just be like, they could kind of Godzilla-ify something, I guess, maybe.
Like, reskin it.
Yeah, you know, it's like,
but just normal sets don't have reskins of cards in.
No.
So it's a big miss from Wizards, and quite a disappointing one, to be honest.
Yeah. Definitely.
Especially as they're very aware that it's a bad thing to do, because they've went ahead and said they won't do it in Commander products. So like, they know it's a problem for the community, but they've just done it anyway.
Definitely. Just to add to it, looking at so you can go on mtgo.com and go to news, and you go on Magic Online chest information, and that'll tell you the contents and the percentages and stuff like that. So, for example, it's in TMT Booster Fun, it's in the 8% slot 3 or whatever is what it is, and it's in that sort of slot. And then the next update for the chests is April the 1st. So that's how long we've got it as it currently is. Which obviously, naturally, we're going to get more supply anyways as more people open more chests. Like, it will get more, so therefore gradually get cheaper, and then it'll get even cheaper come if they update it in April. But yeah, it's just unfortunate for paper people that I guess they've just got to hope that stores aren't selling the whatever the thing's called, and then they know they'll get something back off people buying the monitors, so they'll just start cracking them open. Is, I guess, the only air quotes fix, right? Is that's what the whole...
To be fair, when you look at card market, I feel like that's what's happened.
Yeah.
Because there's like stores with like 30 or 40 of them. And it's like, well, so you've just cracked all of this sale product that was supposed to be for the Commander casual players is now getting cracked for commons, and then they'll just sell put the packs in the normal pack pile and recoup the cost that way. So what is essentially done two things. They've pushed the Pauper community to not having a card that it wants, and then the product's not going to be available for the casuals that it's made for because everyone's cracking them for this card.
Yeah, it's a pretty nuts sort of situation, but
maybe if we put the tinfoil hat on, obviously previously the news was that they were stopping the deck lists for Magic Online and Arena to slow down the progression of the meta, and obviously that got backtracked. Maybe the slowing down the progression of the Pauper meta by making the cards unavailable. So you slowly see this Affinity development, and then everyone's like, oh, Affinity needs these 4 cards. Oh, we can't run them though because they're so expensive. And then you slow down the meta. Like, if it was just as available as Leo, we would see way more on the Magic Online challenges this week.
Yeah, I could see that.
I'll put money on it.
But yeah, it's because as well, it's like pretty much one of them that needs least development as well, right? It's like a card that can just go in. You can make a couple of choices here and there, but generally it's like, oh, it's an auto-include. You don't have to change your deck around. You don't have to do too much sort of thing. It's probably going to be fine. But yeah, that is basically all we've got for news. Just sort of tangential, is that a word? But it is now. Section.
And a rant.
And a rant tagged on at the end of that. But anyways, so we're going to talk challenges and paper events. So we have the usual 4 challenges to cover. And then we have the God of Pauper, which was also hosted on a weird day. I didn't know if you've seen it. It was on a Wednesday. Just like 130 people just casually in Japan. Just, let's fuck off work. Come on, let's go play some Magic. And then also we have the ROIW Championship as well, which was like a Northern Pauper Open size event sort of thing in the ROI hobbies, which we've sort of covered previously. If you want to start with Thursday.
Yeah, I think for these, because we've got so many as well, we're probably just going to focus on the ones with new cards rather than everything else. But there is quite a few.
Yeah.
So Thursday, the 5th of March, 44 players. First place was Blue Red Fate. Second place was Mono Red Madness. Third and fourth were Elves. Fifth was Dredge. Sixth was Colgates. Seventh was Mono White. And eighth was Familiars. Then the two near misses, ninth is Mono Blue Terror, and 10th was Monstertron. Obviously, the biggest standout in this being the White Weenie list, piloted by Weber from the PFP. So pretty cool to see him doing well. But also 4 Leonardo Big Brothers in the main deck.
Big statement.
And as we sort of suggested, will be the first deck to take up Leonardo White Weenies here. But not as changed as I thought it would have been. He's not running any Buglers or any Squadron Hawks. It's basically just a normal White Weenie list with 4 Leonardos in. It's got the Madu Devotee sort of spice that we'd seen previously, where they run it as like an extra inspector and then they can play Rally the Peasants. But other than that, like, it's just pretty straightforward White Weenie, right? With 4 Leonardos slotted in.
Yeah, it's gone like, it's just like a lower to the ground version, right? With the Steadfast and all, a absolute shit ton of 1-drops. And then, pretty much gonna go ham with Rafine's Informant, Battle Screech sort of combo, and then core Skyfisher to just net your value, right? Pick up your Leonardo, or even pick up something else that draws a card or scries. Fairly self-explanatory stuff. I guess the only obviously thing which we've touched on, like we've seen previously, is they went down the Rally of the Peasants, as opposed to Guardian's Pledge, which you sort of touched on, which makes sense, really. Yeah,
I do like it. I really like the Madu Devotee. I think it's quite underrated, especially in White Weenie, being able to see 2 cards and bottom both those planes that are on top of your deck is a lot more value than a clue that would draw one of those planes and then draw the other one next turn.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. We all know how powerful Fairy Seer is. It's basically the same, right?
Yeah. And obviously the extra sort of slant that it allows you to splash colours as well, whether it be black or red.
Definitely pretty sweet.
Outside of that, not too much new going on. The Dredge list was trying a Mortuary Maya, right?
Yeah.
Or 2 Mortuary Mayas in the main, which is sort of a bit of an interesting one for Dredge.
Yeah. No Raphael either. So obviously Marzaboy was really high on the idea of running the new Raphael Impact Tremors on a stick sort of card. They've still got the Momentary Blinks in the side, which is sort of where Marzaboy said the slot would take over, right? That sort of like Momentary Blink sort of slot. So yeah, but still managed to...
These Nemists not as committed.
Nope.
To the Turtles.
The only other thing I wanted to mention was the Monstertron has an interesting card in the sideboard. And it's not the Perilous Mare, just to let you know. It is just...
the 4 Perilous Mare.
Yeah, the 4 Perilous Mare. It is the Disturbed Burial, which is a pretty interesting one. Obviously, pretty old card. It's like a... I can't remember the name of that effect. The 1 in a black, return a creature card from your graveyard to your hand.
Raised Dead.
Raised Dead, that's the one. It's a Raised Dead, but it's got buyback 3, right? Which seems perfect for this deck. Really solid. Seems really, really crucial in those long, grindy games, along with the Perilous Mares to look awesome and shoot stuff.
Yeah, the Perilous Mare is quite a cool one, to be fair, against like the aggressive decks. Sort of like a 3-2 for 1, isn't it? Built in 2 for 1.
It's pretty fun.
You don't really have the advantage of like Reckoner's bargaining it away or something like that, but sort of just a little wall that then kills something else when it dies.
Pretty cool. Yeah, that was all I had for the Thursday.
Moving on to the Friday challenge, the Friday the 6th of March, 52 players. First place was the No Bad Card Bogles. Second place was Green Red Ramp. Third was Elves. Fourth was another copy of White Weenie. Fifth was Jund Wildfire. Sixth was Mono Blue Fate. Seventh was Dredge. And eighth was Normal Bogles. Then the 2 near misses. Ninth was Elves. And 10th was Rally Red. Cool to see the Bogles list with the transitional sideboard showing up again. sort of proving it wasn't just like a fluke or a flash in the pan. It is like a pretty legitimate way to play the Boggles list.
Yeah,
as far as I can tell, it's unchanged from that one from last week as well. Still got like the 1 Orenali, the 2 Lanois Visionaries in the board, and then like the 1 Eagles, 2 Generous End, 2 Banner Hide, split in the main.
Yeah, I think so. I think it looks pretty much the same, right?
Yeah.
With its weird numbers.
The White Weenie list in 4th went a lot more down the route I sort of expected for it to go with, obviously adding a Leonardo in, which is sort of the freebie. But then shifting back to a bugler build of White Weenie, essentially cutting the big chicken thing from Final Fantasy.
Summon Choco-Mog.
Choco-Mog. In favour of Bugler, and then obviously Bugler just hits every creature in the deck. Yeah. Leonardo.
I think that's like legit. I think that's like a really big thing to like sort of like, it's a surprisingly important thing to brush over, right? Like obviously like the Choco-Mog and the whatever the other piece of crap was that they used to run, the Spider-Man thing.
Web slinging Spider-Man.
Aye, that guy. Like those are just big dudes, right? 3/3s with semi-relevant text. Like Leonardo is not only bigger than those most of the time, it's also not bigger than those in your hand. So like the fact that you can basically grab anything out of your deck, it's like an auger on crack. Like it never misses. And then also hits your big bomb, which is basically like a giant fire blast to the face.
I think with those cards as well, they always just felt clunky in the deck. Like obviously you were playing them, so you ended up cutting Buglers because you were missing more. And then although they're supposed to be your bomb slots, they just like die out. Like so many games I've played against White Weenie where they played Choco-Mog and I've just bullied it. And then they'd be like, oh well, this 3 mana for +1/+0 for 1 turn is sort of not worth my while. And then same with Spider-Man, like it's just a dork on the ground, like it just doesn't get there. But this obviously dodging a lot of removal because it's coming in at instant speed, so you can choose your moments. You don't have to just cast it on 3 and hope for the best. Being able to be bought off Bugler, so then you can bring your Buglers back in, so your 3 mana play is now not just a 1-for-1. It's like getting your actual value.
Yep.
It seemed really good. The only thing I don't really get about this list, it's on the Inspectors, it's not playing the Devotee. As such, it's playing Guardian's Pledge instead of Rally the Peasants. But then it has 3 Boros Garrisons in.
I was thinking the exact same thing.
And no red cards in the sideboard or the main. So just like if you're committing to Boros Garrison, like just play the Rally the Peasants and the Devotee. Like it's miles better than Guardian's Pledge because you can cast it twice.
Yeah, it is a like, don't get me wrong, I can get the idea behind like either or Guardian's Pledge and Rally, right? Because obviously you're playing Bugler, you can slow your game down, you can be a bit slower, and you can go like card advantage wise and sort of be fine with that. And then eventually Guardian's Pledge and like have the toughness to have things survive and stuff like that. Like I can sort of get behind it. But then this list is like this thing of like, that's what I'm gonna do. But I've also got Boros Garrisons in case I maybe change my mind about Rally. It's like, you either go one or the other. And it's not like they've overloaded on the Hawk, the planes. Why are names escaping me today?
Eagles of the North.
Eagles of the North. It's not like they're running high number of Eagles of the North. Like, they're not running any. And then they're running 1 Idyllic Range. It's not like they're getting value that way either. They're just like, Boros Garrisons are just like a mental inconvenience.
Yeah, especially still having the Idyllic range in as well. Like, that looks very sus with Boros Garrison in. Like, when is that ever coming in untapped?
Yeah, it's just odd. That whole mana base and pump spell side of things is very strange. And still, obviously, they end up going 2 strands as well, but still keeping like the Rafine's Informants, so they're very reliant on like Screech and Veteran to sort of get that advantage there. Again, all that sort of like weird deck building choices just seem off to me. But Leonardo will probably pick up all the pieces and still dome them for 9.
I guess it's quite a lot of lands as well for playing 3 Karoo lands. Like it's still on 20 lands. with 3 garrisons. Like, I feel like if you've got those, you can probably cut a land fairly safely. Which you could then obviously go up on strands or whatever again. But yeah, I like the Bugler Leonardo idea. I think that's probably where White Weenie will settle.
Definitely.
We'll talk about it a bit more in the God of Pauper one as well. Anything else for the Friday challenge?
It's just a rule, right, at this point. We've got to shout out the second place list, the green red ramp list. There's no other reason. It's running 61 cards. It couldn't decide what to cut for the greatest card in the deck. It is running a 1 Evolution Witness, along with 2 Banner High Crushocks. Every time it appears, we have to shout it out because we're taking credit because we made it. That is all.
The combo.
The combo.
Moving on to the Saturday challenge, Saturday the 7th of March. 50 players. First place was Spyballs, second was Blue Red Fate, third was Elves, fourth was Black Green Fog, fifth was Mono Red Madness, sixth was Rally Red, seventh was Judd Wildfire, and eighth was once again White Weenie. And then the 2 near misses, 9th was Grixis Affinity, and 10th was another copy of White Weenie.
What?
I guess getting the White Weenies out the way first. They are very similar to the 2 lists we've just talked about. For the most part, the 10th place one is basically the same as the Friday one we just spoke about, but with the proper mana base.
Yes.
I believe that's the only change, right? They've cut a veteran and a bugler to go to 4 strands.
Yeah.
And then cut the Boros garrisons to go back on plains and idyllic ranges. Which
makes sense. Yeah, they've changed the sideboard as well. They've went back like to Martyr Sands and stuff like that. But yeah, nothing really too crazy.
The 8th place one though is sort of similar to the one from Friday, the Weber one, where it's using the Madhu Devotee as like a splash. But this time splash in black, so 2 Orzhov Basilicas in the main. And that's basically for Arms of Hadar in the side, which again we have seen before. But obviously this is the new developed White Weenie with 3 Leonardos in. And back on 4 buglers as well.
Yeah, I don't hate this idea. It's nice. It's probably better as well now that a lot of people are on White Weenie themselves. So yeah, pretty good in that respect.
Yeah.
So
I honestly think the Devotee makes the splashes so free either way, like either red or a black splash, that you should probably just play them.
Yeah.
Like the Karulans are decent anyway. The Devotee's decent anyway, especially if you can reset it. Like Scryan is very, very good in this deck. And then you just get access to more powerful cards like Rally the Peasants, like Arms of Hadar. You could even, like, to the point, you're probably close to being able to play, like, Pyroblast and stuff in your White Weenie sideboard if you were so inclined.
It's pretty interesting to see how far you can stretch one of the splashes, right? Or even go far as how not far you can stretch 2 splashes. Like, just run Rally and Arms. See what happens.
Yeah. I guess one sort of good thing coming out of this Turtles explosion into Pauper is it's doing what we've sort of witnessed from a lot of the standard sets of late, where we don't really see much of the cards leaking on the first few weeks, and then it's sort of like a bit further down the line we see them seeing a lot more play. So obviously we have seen Madhu Devotee before, but very briefly, and then we've just seen 2 decks in 2 top 8s in the same week with it in from 2 different pilots and 2 different lists.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's cool to see more contemporary commons still making it through the cracks into Pauper.
Yeah, definitely, for sure.
And then the Grixis Affinity list in 9th from Luffy, because who else? Only 2 Utron monitors, which is quite surprising. But there are also 2 surveillance cameras, which I know you were quite high on.
I think I never really thought about it as just a fair card, right? Like, it's fine as a fair card. Obviously, it does activate broken shenanigans where you can, I say broken, combo shenanigans. But obviously in the fair aspect, sort of we talked about before we hit record, it's like a 1-mana artifact with flash, which is also very relevant anyways, right? It does something also semi-relevant. It can untap your guy to block and kill something. It can tap down on a really annoying block attacker to buy you turns and time and stuff like that. And then you can pay 4, draw 2 cards. It's like a Witching Well with a relevant text, right?
Yeah.
But has flash as well, which is also relevant.
Also, it's just an artifact, which is also relevant. Like,
just everything's relevant about that card, right? Which is pretty
cool. It's one of those where it's got a lot of minor interactions or minor like positives to it that it sort of looks a bit unassuming, and you're like, well, is this really enough? But when you add them all together, it sort of can get there.
Definitely.
I don't know if Luffy's gonna settle on this list. I feel like 4 Utron monitors is definitely the way to go. I feel like 2 is probably not correct. But it will be interesting to see if the surveillance cameras or surveillance cameras make the cut and stay in the list. Yeah,
like obviously having the Cryogen Relic text right event as all leaves is pretty important for obviously you're doing your, Crackland Shaman stuff or your Deadly Dispute style effect stuff as well. Plus also it has relevant text where you can just sack it and draw 2 itself. Like you can literally just pay 5 mana, tap 2 guys down, draw 2 cards.
Yeah.
Like that's not awful. Pretty cool.
Yeah, to be fair as well, like end of turn, flash it in, tap a guy, Reckoner's Bargain it away, tap a guy, attack you with 2 Marine Forces. Seems pretty strong. Seems a pretty strong line.
Definitely.
It sort of leans into what I don't know if we spoke about it last week or we were just speaking about it privately, but we were basically saying how Marine Forces like slowly becoming outclassed in Affinity. Or like in the meta in general, like 4/4 is not the greatest body when like there's Terror and Chrysalis and that everywhere. But when you've got a card like this that like is an artifact, fits in your plan, has flash, you can just use it to tap 2 blockers down in the same turn. It makes Marine Forces seem a lot more reasonable at just being an aggressive threat again.
Yeah, definitely. It's pretty interesting to think about it like that. And then also puts more thing on 2 monitors is probably incorrect. Like
because it does the same with Monitor as well. Like if they've got a flyer, if they've got a sneaky snacker, you just tap it and hit them with both your monitors.
Yeah, definitely. All of this stuff is just very relevant, which you obviously never really took into account. And there's a lot of cards that like sort of very situational in Grixis Affinity, right? They're all generally pretty good cards, but all very situational. Where you're getting to the point where these cards can just, I don't know, like still like Surveillance Camera, even when it's bad, it's still like not awful, if you know what I mean. It's like you can draw 2 cards, it's fodder, it adds to Affinity accounts, stuff like that. Like you're getting to that point where all these cheap cards are in your deck, like Spell Bomb replaces itself, Valence Camera replaces itself, all that sort of stuff. Like you'll be literally playing like no bad card Affinity soon.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Is that not just what Affinity was anyway?
Yeah, but it's even more so now.
You know what we needed? The deck that's had the most cards banned out of it. It needs more tools.
That's what it needs.
It needs more options for the ban list.
Yes. But the cam, like obviously something I never really thought about in Grixis Affinity, even though it is a blue artifact, it seems pretty good.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Moving on to the Sunday challenge. Sunday the 8th of March, 62 players. First place, Mono Red Madness. Second place, White Weenie. Third place, Spywalls. Fourth place, Gardens. Fifth place, Mono Red Madness. Sixth place, Bogles. Seventh place, Mono Red Madness. Eighth place, Ponza. Ninth place, Rally Red. And 10th place, Jund Wildfire. As you've probably guessed, the White Weenie list has Paul Leonardo. Other than that, it's pretty on par with what we've been talking about. It's got Bugler back in. It doesn't have Chocobo. It's got Guardian's Pledge, Idyllic Range, Plains, Mana Base. Essentially just White Weenie, but put back in Bugler, put in Leonardo's. And run 62 cards because it doesn't know what to cut.
Yes, sure. I find this really, like, the white, like, I guess, how do I put this? I find the White Weenie sort of explosion into the challenge is quite strange overall, right? Like, the card's obviously good. I'm not obviously disputing how good Leonardo is. But usually it takes a while for these sort of cards to come in. Not only White Weenie, but into Pauper. I don't know if it's due to the fact that this one's clearly, obviously, was the thing above the rest to do with availability. Like, as you say, with monitors and stuff, it's hard to get a hold of. So then does everyone just then go towards, I'll play this because it seems that strong? Or it is just that good that it makes White Weenie easily top contender now?
Yeah. I think just the turtle cards in general have been a lot more pushed than all the standard sets of late.
Yeah.
Usually we'd said when we reviewed them, we were scrapping for Pauper playables. Usually we get one and then we have to really look into it to get 2 and 3. And then 4 and 5 are usually a scrap. But for turtles, we were just oh yeah, it's this, and this. And they will definitely see play. And it was just instant. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. It's obviously gonna change the format a lot. It's already changing it a lot. But it makes it harder to compare to previous standard sets.
Yeah, definitely. But it's definitely interesting. And I'm not. I'd love to see more. To be honest, I'm in. Don't get me wrong. I'm not the biggest fan of UB and all that sort of stuff. But all in all, I love the idea of change. I love the idea of having more tools to just mess with.
Yeah.
Which is all good for me. But it's definitely cool to see. Obviously, one card at least break out in these challenges. For sure. And I'm excited to see more stuff as time goes on, to be honest.
Yeah. And just touching on past 10th place for this challenge, because obviously it was just the mono white list. 12th place, Luffy with his Grix Affinity list with the 2 U-Droms and the 2 surveillance cameras. And then 13th place was another White Weenie, again with 3 Leonardos and Militia Buglers in the main.
They did run the Spider-Man though as well, that one, right?
Yeah, it runs 2 Spider-Man as well as 3 Leonardos, which is an interesting one. But yeah, lots of turtles, mostly Leonardos, some Utron monitors.
Hopefully see more Utron monitors as the...
Yeah, I definitely think, going into the next event that we're going to touch on, I definitely think this has been impacted by the cost. There's not many people playing the Pauper challenges that are going to shell out 120 ticks for 4 cards.
Yep.
That they know are going to be cheaper in a month's time.
Yeah, definitely.
It's sort of a bit of a losing proposition, really. Because I imagine once they really up the rating chests, they'll just be normal, 8 to 10 ticks or something as opposed to 30.
Yeah, I can see that.
But moving on to our first paper event, which was the God of Pauper from Haruya. It was the 13th God of Pauper, I believe.
Yeah.
129 players on the 4th of March. Good day for a Pauper event. First place, Grixis Affinity. Second place, Mono Red Madness. Third place, Kiln Fiend. Fourth place, Grixis Affinity. Fifth place, Elves. Sixth and seventh place, Naya Gates. 8th place, Spy Walls, and then the 2 near misses. 9th place was White Weenie, and 10th place was Band Gates. But some particularly spicy ones in here. They both Grixis Affinity lists had 4 U-Droms in the main. Neither was playing the surveillance camera or surveillance camera. But yeah, both just look pretty clean. Grixis Affinity lists utilising 4 U-Droms, 4 Mer Enforcers, 4 Familiars, and 3 Cracklands as the threat package.
I'm trying to figure out for the first place list what they sort of cut, obviously to make room, because the creatures are still the same, right? Still running Mer Enforcer, still running Refurb, still running Cracklands. So they've added 4 cards.
I think it's essentially just trimmed, right? There's only 3 Galblasts. There's only 1 Toxin. There's a single cast down as well.
Yeah.
Just a bit of chopping away, I think.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I was thinking the same thing, and I was well, there's still the 9 draw spells, and I'm there's only 1 Toxin, so they've cut 2, and then I'm wait, the blowgun's in there, and I'm there's only 3 Galblast, but there's a cast down. It's it's quite...
There's no Black Mage's Rod either.
Black Mage's Rod.
That's 2 to 3 slots, right?
Yeah. Black Mage's Rod, which makes sense, to be honest.
And that's the same for the 4th place list as well.
Yeah.
There's no Black Mage's Rod.
They look pretty similar, right?
Yeah, the fourth has an extra toxin and one less Gall Blast. But for the most part, yeah, they're very similar. But Japan clearly has a large supply of Turtles Team Up product.
Or just Haruruya just popped them.
Yeah, well, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised because Haruruya are pretty good at supporting Pauper.
Yep.
Yeah, but this is more what I expected to see from the challenges, but obviously with how expensive the monitors are, it sort of feels like it's got knocked out a bit.
Yeah, definitely.
One deck that doesn't have new cards in, but I feel like it's worth touching on anyway. Of
course it is.
Third place Kiln Fiend.
Let's go.
But only in God of Pauper.
I like the look of this Kiln Fiend. So this Kiln Fiend list's running the standard Kiln Fiend, Crusher, and then like 3 amplifiers. It's running 2 Red Mage's Rapier as well, which is really cool.
Yeah. I guess I say there's no new cards in it. Like Red Mage's Rapier is fairly new in Pauper terms.
And it's not a bad card, right? It basically is just like a Gitu amplifier-y card that you can sort of slap on another guy later on when your colourless 1/1 dies. But yeah, it's pretty cool, right? It's definitely probably reliant on the sort of, how to put this, like the madness side of things, like the lava darts and the fire blasts, and then squeezing damage that way. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Running Reckless Charge to haste people down, right?
Is there a reason you wouldn't just play the Red Mage's Rapier over the amplifiers? Like the amplifier has 1 more toughness, but the rapiers trigger other rapiers, and you can put them on other creatures. I guess it like the little token dies to Lava Dart, maybe. But like if you're against Madness, like every creature you play is dying essentially anyway.
The like sort of usual thing was like amplifier that played what's that kind? Manamorphose in previous iterations, right? And you could technically kicker it.
Yeah, but
this one doesn't. So I don't know, if I'm honest. You probably are right. It probably should be the more Red Mage's Rapier, right? But
yeah, I'm not certain, but it looks like it has a lot of upside, and the only downside is it dies to a 1 damage spell, but your Jitter Amplifier is going to die a lot of that anyway. They just flash it by.
Yeah, I guess the only other thing I can think of is sort of, I guess, Amplifier with Mutagenic Growth survives like 3 damage burn spells, I guess.
Oh yeah, maybe that's probably more relevant, to be fair.
Yeah, is the only other thing I think of, I guess. But yeah, it's much of a thing, right? I probably would side with yourself and be on more Rapiers than Amplifiers, like even if it's a 3-2 split the other way. But yeah, it's definitely cool to see. Like this deck looks really, I don't know, it looks slightly different, but still cool. Like the changes look really good. Like all in Reckless Charge, Rapier, like the Madness style.
I think if you have any interest in Kiln Fiend, it's definitely worth looking at.
Yeah, definitely. For sure.
Another deck running new cards, which sort of surprised me, to be honest. I didn't really expect this one. The 5th place Elves has 2 copies of Ice Cream Kitty. What an absolutely abhorrent card name. But yeah, it's got 1 Huntsmaster in as well, which I'm assuming is to support this ice cream
thing.
Also just runs Arbor Elf randomly, which seems a bit weird instead of like a normal mana dog. Like it doesn't have a dual land or anything to untap. It just has like a cabin in the main, which doesn't seem relevant.
Yeah. Which also does actually matter, right? Like it's not like irrelevant. It does come up where you can bounce your last forest and you can't.
A lot of the time you'll like bounce your only land.
Yeah.
And if it's an Arbor Elf, you just not mana anymore. Yeah, bit of an odd choice there, but the ice cream looking pretty interesting. Obviously eating your creatures to draw cards. When you've got 1 million mana, you can basically like just eat yourself to action.
I've figured out why it runs Arbor Elf.
All right.
It's so you have an easy choice of which elf is the first to go.
Which mana dog has to die in this one because it doesn't have mana. Yeah.
Funny.
Because it's pretty like close on mana anyway. It only has the 7 mana dogs because it's running 2 birch laws as well
Mm.
for some reason. Like it doesn't play any off color cards in the sideboard. It plays less elves in its main deck because it's got these ice cream cats in. So the logical reason is to play then birch laws, which have less elves to tap and you're not splashing anything.
Yeah, no, I can't help you with that one. I'm sorry.
no, it's a very very strange list. I think the Aber Elves and the Birch Laws should probably just be the normal mana dogs, and then that would put it back to 9, like Landmore Elves, which is like the norm number for mono green.
Yeah.
But yeah, this ice cream looks cool. I wouldn't really expect it in Elves, but it's sort of a card draw ish spell that you can hit off your leads and winding ways. I'm not convinced it's really good enough, but it is interesting that it's in play.
Yeah, like without the Huntsmaster, right? If you put it in like normal, like mono green elves, like it kind of gets to the point where you have all these 1 mana guys that you have that many that you probably don't need them all. Like you could probably sack 2 of them, 3 of them, and it's drew 3. Like it's not fantastic, but
I think my thing with it is without the priest, it's just bad. And if you've got the priest, you're probably doing all right anyway. Like whatever, if this was just like a Nick Spawn Hydra, which is one of the slots it's cut from, you would probably just prefer that.
Yeah,
I guess the other sort of side of it is it can be a life gain effect as well. Obviously, the play stuff like Spinewood's Paladin in the board now. They've previously played, is it Baker's Bane Duo?
Yeah.
The little 2 mana guy that gains 3 life. It's sort of that also can draw cards.
Yeah. I could see it in like a more generic, like, you know, like the Well Wishers that they run in the main. Like I know Well Wisher obviously straight up wins the game when it taps. Like this is
And
obviously
is an elf.
And is an elf, obviously. But this is like a card that sort of gains life if you need it, but then also does the sort of other things against other decks. Okay, I've got this spare thing, I can sack it.
Yeah.
Obviously, the big crucial point for me is the reason why it's like mid as well. It has the annoying text on the last bit of the card which says activate only as a sorcery. Like if it didn't have that, this would be a completely different conversation. Because you could just like, as soon as I start point removal and stuff, it's just like, oh, sack this, draw a card, sack it. Do you know what I mean? It's like that sort of thing.
Yeah, it just sort of means the first thing they have to kill is this ice cream. And then you're sort of fine with that anyway because they've left you actual good cards alive.
Yep. But yeah, so it's sort of like mid. I could definitely see like in normal elves, like obviously I'm saying normal elves because this has like 1 land grant and 4 arbor elves and 2 birch laws in a mono green deck.
Yeah, it's a very strange list.
But I could see it replacing like Well Wisher in the main as more like a generic sort of I don't know what I want to beat sort of thing, and I could sort of see that, and probably be okay with it. But other than that, you know, I don't think it'll stay.
Yeah. And then the other list is obviously the White Weenie list, which sort of goes basically to exactly as I expected the White Weenie lists to go when we were talking about the Leonardo spoiler. Putting Buglers back in, putting Squadron Hawks back in. It's the first one we've seen to just go back to Squadron Hawk. And then running Leonardo like that with the Squadron Hawks, with the Buglers. It again just looks like a pretty clean White Weenie list. I think my only thought is only 3 Battle Screech always look like quite an odd number.
That was my thought.
They do still have 4 Rapines Informant and 4 Prismatic Strands as well. Yeah,
that was my thought. There is like 3 Battle Screeches. Like you're very reliant on Prismatic Strands being very good.
Yeah, but I guess the Battle Screech, if you are going to put 4 Hawks in, maybe doesn't matter as much anymore. Than it would like if you had no Hawks, for example.
Yeah, that's fair. But definitely showing the power of Leo, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's definitely the breakout card. Whether that be because of the impact of like the supply issue of Utrom or not. Obviously we'll never really know. But yeah, definitely the breakout card of the Ninja Turtle set. But given we've seen 3 other cards as well, it's pretty cool to see.
Yeah.
I guess the only other thing for this is shout out to Sheeb on Elves, who came, I believe, 14th in the God of Pauper event. Obviously, we talk about them on the challenges quite a lot, so it's cool to see people who played the challenges doing well in paper as well.
Yeah, definitely cool. There's definitely like some interesting stuff in the God of Pauper event that I recommend people do check out. Like obviously the Japanese lists are always cool. Like we haven't even touched on obviously the Naya Gates lists that did well. The sort of
or the bank gate list,
or the band gate
all the gate lists.
You know, they're not something that we haven't seen before, but they're definitely there, definitely existing. Like there's also another Grix Affinity down further down, which also runs the Ultra monitors as well. The Japanese
only thing I was disappointed with was the Monoblue Terror list was painfully normal. I was like hoping it would be like have some cool spice in it, just didn't.
Unfortunately, that one's been solved.
Yeah. Moving on then to our final event, which is the RIW Hobbies Championship Series. This was on the Saturday the 7th of March, 67 players. And was another spicy one with lots of new cards in. First place was Green Red Ramp. Second place was Black White Devotion. Third place was Spy Combo. Fourth was Black White Blade. Sixth was Blue Black Terror. Fifth was Blue Black Terror. Sixth was Colgates. Seventh was Devoted Pizza, which is an absolutely awful name. Eighth was Gardens, and then the two near misses. Ninth was Rally Red, and 10th was Blue Black Terror.
We'll call it Devoted Druid Combo from now.
Yeah, that's a much better name.
Yeah, we'll call it that.
And it tells you what the deck does. I guess the first mention is the second place, the Black White Devotion. A very, very, very small W on the white. As it's basically just for 3 Ephemerates and 4 Godpharaohs Faithful in the side, and that's it. Essentially, it's just like a mono black devotion style list, very slanted into the artifact spectrum. So with like Grim Baubles, Blood Fountains, Mephitic Drafts, Tithe Blades, and 2 Anchovy and Banana Pizza.
Nice.
Honestly, awful name. Again, I've said it many times. I'll say it for every turtle card.
Hey, we're doing all right on our top 5 though. We're doing not too
bad. We're hitting them all. And that artifact slant is basically just to support refurb. Which makes sense as it's basically the best black card in Pauper, I guess I would say. And then obviously the 3 Ephemerates, there's 4 Garys to flicker, 4 Refurbs to flicker, and then 4 Chittering Rats to flicker.
Because they couldn't hold off, you know, they needed that 2016 like tech.
Yeah. It's cool. Obviously it's like a development, like a pretty modern development, I guess, fitting the familiar into quite an old style of Pauper deck with the mono block. The Ephemerate definitely gives it a lot more like punch power or a lot more like finishing power than mono black of old has had. I imagine Gary into Ephemerate Gary is pretty much lights out most games.
Yep.
So it does make a lot of sense to splash. And if you're playing refurb, you sort of want the Black White Bridge anyway as like an artifact land that essentially taps for 2 mana for refurb, so it makes even more sense.
Yeah, definitely. I really like the idea of the list. Like I've tried like a control-y sort of artifact-based thing previously, not with Ephemerate, but you definitely like the artifact tools are pretty strong.
I guess the pizza, for anyone who doesn't know what an anchovy and banana pizza does, it's a 4-mana 2 black removal spell, right? Just destroy target creature. And it's a food as well. You can attack it for 3 life.
Yep.
Sort of a perfect fit for a Grey Merchant deck, really. Like, all your removal spells at this point are just permanents that have a black pip, which is very much where this deck wants to be.
Yeah. I would imagine, I wouldn't be surprised also if the next cut is them Chittering Rats, because they look horrendous. Other than that, you know, everything else is solid.
I guess this sort of functions similarly to a refurb. It's like refurb 5 through 8. Obviously much, much worse. But it's just like, I guess, sort of interaction that is a mediocre clock that works with your ephemerate. Like, you haven't really got much option in mono black.
No, very true. I don't know.
But yeah, I do agree. Nowadays, Chitter Rats is very outclassed.
Yeah, it's not it.
But like Chitter Rats into ephemerate Chitter Rats into ephemerate Chitter Rats. Like, if they can't answer the first Chitter Rats, is probably pretty good.
Yeah, I guess.
The next list is the 4th place Black White Blade list. Not running Leonardo, surprisingly, but running the Oroku Saki Shredder Rising, which is the Black Ninja of the Deep Hours, essentially, that I sort of expected us to see in the challenge. Which is quite a cool one. It seems like the ideal list, really, for that to fit into. It's a deck that can't already play Ninja of the Deep Hours, that has stuff that it wants to ninja back, essentially, with Refurb Familiar, with Thraben Inspectors. It seems like quite a cool, clean addition to that deck.
Yeah, it's like a double whammy, right? You've got cards that already rebuy anyways, like Glinthawk and Core Skyfisher. They've also got natural evasion as well, which will be good for the ninjutsu mechanic. And then casting them again is not a downside. Okay, I'll cast it again and then I'll bounce my refurb.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it is cool. Interestingly, it still plays one Spider-Man Webslinger and one Mukotai Ambusher. Like, that Ambusher makes sense. I still don't really get the Spider-Man Webslinger. I feel like the card's just bad, but...
Yeah. Obviously, post-combat, they just want to bounce the Shredder's Rising, to flicker it again, but...
Yeah, maybe. I guess the biggest downside is, obviously, these are all legends now, so...
Yeah.
You would, if it was just exactly Ninja of the Deep Hours, but black, you would just run 4. But because of this, like, legend restriction that we've got on every single card in Universes Beyond, it does make it a lot more awkward to just jam 4 in. And I guess why a lot of those white weenie decks were like flip-flopping between 3 and 4 as well.
Yeah. But then, again, going back to it, this Spider-Man Webslinger could definitely have just been a Leonardo, and it'd probably still be better.
Yeah, it probably would. Even just for like the 1 sneaking damage, because you're probably going to hit for 3 or 4 anyway. But where the Spider-Man doesn't come in attacking, it's like post-combat, and then if it was going to get in, the Leonardo would just get in again.
My thing is as well, though, like, naturally, you, with the, like, where Black White Blade plays, you end up with, like, loads of crap on the board anyways, with, like, Inspectors and all that sort of stuff. But then you're also going Skyfisher, Glinthawk, Titan Blade, so it's a deck that sort of ends up, when the thing gets in again, like, you're gonna get the Leo in again. Do you know what I mean? Where this one Spider-Man's not gonna be that impactful.
Yeah.
I don't know. Other thing to note on this list, is the fact, I know it seems a bit random, but they're on 2 cast downs and 1 go for the throat.
Yeah. I was just about to mention that. And 1 Thraben Charm as well.
And 1 Thraben Charm.
Is it the time of go for the throat? No, there's legends everywhere.
But you've got Utron Monitor, then you can't kill.
Yeah, no, exactly. And you can't go to Doomblade because the Shredder's black.
Yeah. But it's an interesting, like, honestly, I'm not even joking. Like, I can't stress enough how happy I am that we might be in a world where cast down is not free. Like, it's just so, like, I just hate, it's like the whole, like, Deadly Dispute thing. As soon as you play, like, black, previously it was like, oh, I guess I put 4 Wellsprings in 4 Deadly Disputes and then I'll figure it out, what my deck looks like. Where, like, cast down's sort of the same. It's like, oh, I'm playing black, I'll put 4 cast downs in because it's, like, the best removal. But now it's not. Or now there's a risk of it. Really excites me. I don't know why.
I guess one thing worth considering in this is, should it not just be on more Thraben Charms?
Probably.
Like, what? You're always going to be able to Thraben Charm, I would say, for 2 or 4 pretty easily. Like, to that, like, there's Terrors. But if you're against Terror, you can probably get the Thraben Charm up to kill the Terror anyway.
Yeah, I think Terror's not... I think the awkward thing is probably maybe Affinity, right? Which then makes the go for the throat even weirder. Is because obviously Crackland Charm will obviously clear the crap out the way, like, accidentally. So it's like then... I don't know. It's definitely an odd one. Like, go for the throat wouldn't be my choice.
But the crack on against this list is not even that bad because you've got 4 Skyfishers, 4 Glinthawks, 4 Refurbs, all that don't get hit by the Shaman anyway. But yeah, it is interesting to see the split be 2 cast down, 1 go for the throat, 1 Rip and Jam. So, like, how close is just Doomblade being better than go for the throat? Like, there's not that many black creatures other than Refurb, which go for the throat can't kill anyway. Like, there's not many anglers. There's not really that many sneaky snackers, and you're probably not cast down and sneaky snackers anyway.
No, I think it's a fair shout, really. I think I'd probably, if I was to lean on one or the other, it'd definitely be Doomblade, right? Like, you don't... I think there's too many artifact things that you just can't hit.
I think especially now when we're going to see this, like, affinity increase with Neutron Monitor as well. Yeah, I'll probably lean towards Doomblade.
Yeah, definitely.
And then the last list we have to talk about is probably the spiciest one of all of these events. It was the 7th place list, which is the Devoted Druid combo list, which is using another awfully named card, Guac and Marshmallow Pizza, in combination with Banishing Knack or Retraction Helix to combo with Devoted Druid, basically making infinite mana and an infinite power Devoted Druid as well, right?
Yeah. It's pretty interesting. I managed to record with this deck. First of all, shout out, obviously, Nicholas, who obviously ran this deck. They're in the Cast and Comms Discord and been talking about this list for quite a bit. It's an interesting take on the... So the combos, obviously, as Reese has mentioned, the Guac and the Pizza and the Devoted Druid combo with Knack is, like, obviously been known since the Guac Pizza was spoiled. Interesting of the shell around it is quite interesting, though. So it's like a blue-green with a very light red splash. They went for, like, card selection over with Impulses and Rumble. And then, like, got a small red splash with 1 Mountain and 4 Abundant Growths for 3 Bitter Reunions, which is a way to give the Devoted Druid haste, which is interesting. Yeah. But the reason they went Bitter Reunion is because you can get it off Rumble, and then the reason Abundant Growth's in the list is because if you combo off with Abundant Growth, you can then draw your deck because you make infinite green.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
You can just keep bouncing the Abundant Growth.
Yeah. Obviously, if it wasn't clear, the Devoted Druid Infinite Power is like a 1-turn thing. It gets infinite power from the Pizza, but then dies at the end of turn because you've put infinite -1/-1 counters on your guy. So I did try this list in a league, and it was pretty good. I ended up like 3-2 or something. The video is out now as well. You can check it. The only thing that I didn't like was the card draw, and it was my biggest bugbear with the deck. There is no real card draw.
Yeah, it's just card selection, right?
Yeah. But
which isn't like, it does look quite deep, like Impulse and Rumble, but then Rumble only getting half the combo. Well, I guess 2/3 of the combo because you've got 8 Knacks, but they're all essentially the same card. Is not ideal. Yeah, I don't know. I do like it. I think the combo has a lot of potential. I think I would probably agree with you. It's like the space around the combo, particularly the card draw, card selection space, I think I would tweak.
Yeah, I agree.
But I really like it. I think the whole combo as well is like surprisingly resilient. Like if you dodge the 1 removal spell, it doesn't matter how many blockers they've got because you can just bounce them all.
Unless the Bogles, which did actually come up to me the other day.
A slippery Bogle,
which actually did come up in a league. I was testing an altered version just before. But yeah.
I was gonna say you don't need evasion because you just bounce all the blockers. But yeah, if they've got Shroud, you can't, or Hexproof, you can't bounce them.
For the most part, you are correct. It is the wink on itself.
But yeah, it's essentially the 3 cards actually wins the game, which is good. The Abundant Growth, I like the addition of Abundant Growth. Having just the ability to just draw a bunch of cards. If they have a Slippery Bogle, is a good out. Although I'm not sure how like relevant it is to waste slots on the like what if like situations from particularly from the main deck. So like the Hierophant's Chalice, which is like a win con if you can't attack them.
Mm-hmm.
Like I really don't think that's worth a slot because you have the ability to bounce all the blockers and attack anywhere.
So there is,
and then the Bitter Reunion, I like the haste side of it. I like, but the fact it's off color just seems very awkward in a very, very heavy green deck.
Yeah, it is. It was like to be honest. So the mana base is 4 Rug Landscapes, 1 Mountain, 4 Colony Garden, and then 6 Forests, 5 Islands. So like the red is very much like Abundant Growth, or you've got to like super plan for it with the Bountiful Landscape. It was incredibly awkward.
Colony Gardens just for jumpers.
Sort of. So the Colony Gardens there mainly because it makes a token early that you can use your Abundance of Knacks to disrupt them.
Right. All right. Okay. Because you've got 8.
Yeah. So you've got 8. You ended up with like because you've got 8 Knack effects or helixes. You ended up with like sometimes 3 or 4 in your hand. So you could sort of just throw them away, and then the guac you don't need to save until your hand.
Yeah.
Because you can just bounce it back straight away. So you could
get a double bounce off a plant token. Yeah, that's cool.
So I had it like one game against Bogles in particular. I went like they attacked. I'll block with my plant token. I'll retraction helix, bounce your ethereal armor, guac it. My thing's now a 2/3, and I'll bounce your other pump spell, kill your guy.
Oh, that's cool.
So like that sort of stuff like does come up, which was pretty cool. Like I'm not opposed to that. My big thing is that the card selection didn't hit relevant things. Like even Rumble, not like so in control decks, like control mirrors, obviously you just want an abundance of protection or interaction. Yeah. Like Rumble doesn't get spell pierce, it doesn't get safekeeping. Like those are real cards you want more than just a one of. Yeah, and that's not going to the like retraction helix side that it doesn't get. But yeah, it definitely the combo itself seems strong. It's this initial shell that definitely needs work, right? Like it's not perfect. But yeah, it definitely seems like it has a lot of potential. I do agree with you with the red though as well. I'm unsure if it's necessary or not because you have Crashing, whatever the card's called, Crashing Drawbridge, right? There's a colourless way, so I don't know.
Yeah, I guess you like. I think the shell in general is like a really good first stab at
definitely 100%.
I'm not even sure like how you would go about the card draw in a better manner either. I would have to like sit down and have a look at it, but I like this. I think it's sweet. I'm assuming we're going to see more Teasdale MTG videos on it.
Yeah, so I'm currently halfway through a second league with a different version of it, where essentially I cut the card selection for Perilous Research and like Wellsprings and like Cryo to sort of gain like card advantage. But you've also got the Colony Garden anyways as like a thing to sack. And then I went down to like 6 knack effects, like 6 retraction helixes. But because I wasn't on Rumble then, I changed it to first day of class. So I still did keep the red splash, but then I also gained, so the snap in the sideboard is for, what the hell's that white card called that they used to run for sadistically? Standard Bearer. That's the one. So obviously this deck is like stone cold to Standard Bearer, like you can't even retraction helix the Devoted Druid. But like first day sort of fixes that because you can get the red Firebender lesson. So you kind of like if I wanted to play like that in the sideboard or something, you kind of needed red anyways. But you gain access to like all the good blue lessons, right? Like you've got like Octopus Form, you've got the Counter Spell, you've got the Waterbender lesson. So like I was like, I'm all for this. You know me, I love a good lesson anyways. So it was like free enough that's where I'm at. And it definitely felt stronger. Like you've got the Abundant Growth too as well
I think, sack. Yeah, first day class especially, just being able to first it into Devoted Druid. Even if you've not got the combo, then just being able to, because it comes in with a counter, right? So you can add a bunch of mana anywhere.
Yeah.
So it's essentially free itself, and then you can net extra mana if you want to.
Yep.
It seems pretty cool. I do like the bit of Reunion. I just think in a deck that's not base red, it always looks clunky. Yeah,
well, this deck's like quite weirdly color restricted, anyways. So it's like it felt pretty hard to cast like blue spells. Never mind anything else.
Yeah. Well, and if you're comboing off on the same, you either need your Devoted Druid in play, or you need at least 2 green to play the Guac and the Druid, and then give it haste with something. and then you need a blue pip, which your Devoted Druid doesn't add.
Yep.
Mm.
Yeah. Like, you can lose the second green pip because the Devoted Druid can make the green.
Yeah.
But it's still like, you need like a lot of colour mana restrictions and a lot of mana anyways to go from hand. Yeah. It was honestly really cool combo. And it was a really great first stab at it, to be fair. For sure. Anything
And your
else?
Devoted Druid would be broken someday.
Yeah, we finally did it. We broke Devoted Druid. Anything else?
No, I'm happy to move on.
So yeah, we're just going to sort of fly through this. Obviously, it's been a long episode. We've been here for like an hour and 15 minutes anyways, but we're still going to do a listener's question. We will probably do like fly a bit through it. The question is from Vicious Snack, and it is, do you get burnt out from playing Pauper/Magic, and what helps reignite the spark of interest after Discouraging Run or bad beats/variants?
I mean, I think we can, well, for my part, we can easily fly through this one, because I don't really get burned out from playing Pauper or Magic.
I think
like I've never felt like, oh, I need to stop playing Magic or I have to play something else. Like,
I think that's like, obviously you also play different formats as well, which helps, true. And you also like cycle. It's like you could play like Joe Commander, say, for example, because a lot of the events are cycles. So 1 month we'll play one, and then another month we'll play another, and then like that's how our like local scene works. So like you could maybe get to one point and be like, all right, okay, I kind of want to play something else, or I'm looking forward to playing something, but that's not really the same thing. That's like, that's what you've played for a bit. I'm ready for a change, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think a big part of it for me for the second part as well, like getting discouraged for bad beats/variants. Like for my personality and like the way I play Magic, I literally just don't care. Like I don't care if I could go pop again, I could go 0-8 and I'll still be fine. Like it doesn't matter. Like it doesn't define me. I know a lot of people, if they like go F and M and go 0-3, they'll like rage quit on themselves basically and be like, "Oh, what have I done wrong? Why has this happened?" Like, I feel like the best thing you can do is just not be that fussed about that. If you've made a mistake, like look at where you've made a mistake, try and pinpoint that mistake.
Yeah, definitely.
But you don't have to dwell on it once you've pinpointed, or I cast this counter spell then, and I really shouldn't have because that card didn't matter. You've learned from that mistake. You don't need to then dwell on it.
Yeah, just don't, like, obviously as long as you learn from it and in effect of try not to make that mistake again, like it's no real issue. But I think that's a big thing, right? Is like obviously having the sort of accolade of doing well be your relevance. Like for me, like I did have like when I first started making content for the bad beats and variants, which obviously people will be well aware. Like I used to get salty as hell, but a lot of the time, like from my perspective, if I did bad or didn't do well in that league, or at least the league didn't pay for itself, therefore me making content was costing me money. So like it was that round of things that eventually after like, because obviously the content was brew based, like I'm then forced into making good brews do well. Otherwise, which is hard to do, right? Like it's hard to have a brew be like good first stab. That essentially, like having weird deck choices or different content to everyone else is then costing me money, which is where I would say like my bad beats and variants came from. Because like who wants to be like, I'm all for like enjoying and making content, like don't get me wrong, I'm very lucky now, like obviously nothing costs me money, like Daybreak obviously I'm lucky enough to obviously have them get me to play whatever I want, which is great. But that since then, before then, I definitely would say like I would have, if I didn't do well, like it would ruin my day easily. Because if I did that, if I did that, because if you think in the perspective of like 3 videos, they'll be all made on the same day or whatever. That's 3 videos of doing really bad. Like okay, that's now cost me £30 or whatever because I've done bad. Because like that's a league. You know what I mean, league's like roughly about a tenner. So it's £30 that it's cost me to make this video. That's going to make me £4 back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like one of them things because now I'm in that lucky position that I can basically make content because I enjoy making it. And it's just for fun. Like, I still look at the deck and go, oh, I could have improved here, could have done this. This deck will be better here because that's what it's all about. and it's fun.
I guess then, how did you persevere through that? Like through those bad patches, I guess is the point from this question, because obviously you didn't have the daybreak support at that time.
Yeah, the thing is, I was very reluctant. I got eventually very reluctant to put money on the line, so I often like trialed it a lot more than I would. So now, like, I just throw it together, jam it in the league, don't matter.
Yeah.
Like, it's irrelevant. But like, I used to like go through like 5 hours of, I don't know, tournament practice or something along them lines, or try like a 2-player league just to see how it works.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? See where like get a feel for it, if you know what I mean, to sort of move into that. And then be more stringent, or like I'd bin decks off. Like if it didn't perform well off like 3 tournament practice games, gone. So yeah, because it came to that point, and it's a hard one, right? But I think if your purpose is not to make content and not to try and cost you money with like brews and things, don't let variance like that or bad beats like define you. Like if you make that mistake, look back, see what you could improve on, and then move on from it.
Yeah, definitely.
But you also can get burnt out as well. Going back to the original question, don't play too much Pauper, or don't play too much Magic. Like a healthy amount of Magic is a good amount of Magic. I can't describe what healthy is, because your health and my health are all two completely different things. But yeah, don't play too much that it's all you do, because you will eventually get burnt out. Anything else to add? That wasn't.
No, thank you for the question.
No.
Get a player point code after he's done.
Yes. So yeah, that is all from us at Casting Commons. Thank you all for the continued support. Thank you obviously for the question. Thank you for all these paper events as well submitted. It's really cool. Do not forget again to like, subscribe, and do not forget to share it with your friends, your family, and of course, your Swedish furniture seller. Not mentioning names. Until next time, and don't forget to stay hydrated. Peace.
Bye.